The Lord of the Rings trilogy has a vast variety of interesting and memorable characters depicted on the big screen. And after watching Amazon create the most hated elf ever, it made me think, why do people love Legolas so much? Let's explore this together. Throughout the films, he only has 30 minutes of screen time, and the least spoken words out of the whole fellowship. Yes, even less than Boromir, who was only in the one film. Yet Legolas is still definitely one of the fan favourites in the whole trilogy, being up there with Gandalf, Aragorn and Sam, despite having much less impact on the story. Try guess how many lines he says towards Frodo throughout all the films and write it in the comments, and I'll tell you the answer later in the video. No cheating. I mean, he has so few lines that the ones he does say get turned into songs.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard! God!
When we are first introduced to him, he is presented as a rather elegant, snobby, overconfident elf, although we do see his loyalty shine through for his friends when he stands up for Aragorn against Boromir. We also see he shares his cultural hate of the dwarves, and that he kind of keeps to himself as he doesn't really vary his emotions. Even when, spoiler alert, Gandalf dies, he looks like he just lost his favourite pair of socks, and not that a companion just died. This does make sense though. He's an elf that lives thousands of years, so he's probably used to things like this happening. When he does speak, it's normally to provide information to the rest of the group. However, as we progress through the films, it can be argued that he becomes more and more human. At the Battle of Helm's Deep, he wanted to leave because he believed they were doomed before Aragorn made him stay. During this battle is the first time he cracks the joke too. Then at the Battle of the Black Gate, he is more than willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good, and the last words he speaks are,
What about side by side with a friend?
This shows how far his character went. He lost his elvish self-importance to create a friendship with someone so different to himself. And as the audience watching this, it's very satisfying to see him grow and become more human. He is just so cool. Thank you. Next point. Okay, that's not very analytical, so let's dive a bit deeper into it. I think Peter Jackson intentionally uses Legolas as a writing device throughout all the films. Before most conflicts begin, Legolas is the one that introduces the idea that something bad is about to happen.
It's a fell voice on the air. Orcs!
This could lead us to unconsciously correlating Legolas to the anticipation of excitement that it is about to happen, resulting in us experiencing happy emotions when we see Legolas. However, a less speculative approach is that Legolas is often used to break up long periods of tension. In the Fellowship of the Ring, he is the one that kills the troll in the Morio fight. In the Battle of Helm's Deep, the tension is released when he slides down on the shield shooting orcs. Then finally in The Return of the King, he single-handedly slays the Mumakil.
That still only counts as one!
Peter Jackson did this to expertly break down all his epic and memorable battles, because he knew that if it was too serious for too long, it would drain the audience. He used Legolas because it was the only character that could do these things whilst making them feel realistic in the universe. This was achieved because his unique elvish qualities are hinted at throughout the films, like him being able to walk on the snow, or seeing miles ahead. As a result, audiences are not left rolling their eyes at undeserved payoffs. Rings of power. As I previously mentioned, most of the dialogue Legolas has in the films is him providing information to the other members of the group.
Remember, one small bite is enough to fill the stomach of a grown man.
Are the meant for Gandalf?
The Horn of Gondor.
This makes sense as he's the eldest one who's probably seen everything, unlike the other members. And it makes it a great way to provide exposition in an organic way to the audience. All the information he gives doesn't feel like he's telling you the person watching the film, which helps to keep you immersed in the film. In addition to this, it can make you feel like you are part of the group, and people naturally like it when they get to be part of something. So maybe fans like him because without him, we would miss out on so much information and context. Yeah, the answer to the question is 1. Legolas says one line to Frodo in the whole trilogy, and I bet you know which line that is.
And you have my bow.
It kind of explains why he doesn't say anything to him back in Rivendell at the end, as he probably forgot his name. In conclusion, Legolas is a character of a few words with only 680 throughout the whole trilogy, but he sure does make them count, just like his arrows.
33! 34!
Whether it's his character arc, the cool stunts he does, or his encyclopedia of knowledge, or something I didn't talk about, he is one of the best characters in The Lord of the Rings.
Subscribe!